Not to watch this sister. She didn't do anything with it. See, that's the thing about being called mentally ill, is either you have a friend or family member who goes in with you right away to turn it in, or you're just going to get blown off. That friend or family member is important. Being able to record it is important. Them listening is important. The predators that I just sent you pictures of, those are just a few of them, just a tiny selection. Um, I suppose next I'm going to have to start sending you conversations with your sister and conversations with my sister, so you understand how many child molesters have gotten away over this and how many murderers. I should also advise you of my current situation. I don't have an advocate. I don't have a friend or family member. I'm going to take pictures of the paperwork for that. Got it right here. I'm going to take pictures of that and send it to you. It's getting worn out and torn down right now because it's been so long. That was from back in November. I'm going to send you some other videos. I'm going to send you some videos of where they send us out here for help. They send us to places they're horrible. They're run like a prison yard, and that ain't right. The cops have been protecting a lot of creepers who are either the crazies that cops pretend that I am, or the evil type people that people pretend I am. You know, Ted Bollinger being an evil one, and there's a guy here named Robert Farnsworth who's just crazy. That's mean to say, I get it. What does it mean to say it to me? That's been all these people's excuse this whole time to harm me. I've had to try to go through this stuff in my car wherever I am available to park for a bit. I also have to try to park places where the volatile people in this town who do not like me do not go, or are less likely to go. When I turn in mandated reporters because they don't want to do their jobs, they're mandated reporters. It's not optional reporters. I think I might have enough time to go to the library and maybe do something there. It's an unsafe situation because multiple situations have happened at the library here. Nobody cares. That's recorded on my channel too. There's a lot of recordings of people, a lot of paperwork too. There's also a lot of people who pretended to be advocates, who lied to me, who misrepresented situations, or wanted to make excuses why their memory was no good, but they didn't want to record didn't want to record anything because it's rude. So they were making calls on my behalf to try to set up appointments. That's what they were appointed to do. Set up appointments, not to tell my story for me when they don't know my story because they're not looking at evidence, not listening, and busy telling me about, all their personal stuff, their kids, and, their illnesses. And of course, there's people like Kara Johnson Miles. Her and the Bollinger family kept messing with me the whole time, dude. The only reason I had to trust the Bollinger family is because your sister kept lying. She kept on wanting to redo the deal, wanted to have me bring this and have me bring that, and I had no money. I mean, allowing the cops to do that, allowing the Bollingers to do that for over a year, knowing I'm disabled, knowing I can't take care of myself, and still, most people knew I had disability money coming in. They were all fine with claiming that they would help me. They weren't helping. What they were doing was taking advantage of me. Sean, I need cigarettes. Sean, I need this. I need that. Same things I had to do with almost everywhere. That lady, Sarah Nelson, she was at the Lincoln Correction Center. Like I said, the abuse didn't stop. The police officers involved in Natalie's situation and my situation before Natalie was killed. These are literally the same officers I'm being sent to afterwards. And I told you, and I told Miss Peaches, they're not going to listen if you make me go in by myself. Also, there's very, very little time that it takes to watch the mandated training videos and learn some of that stuff. But there's also 6 years worth of abuse on my channel. There's abuse against myself, literally abuse against children and adults on my channel. It's mandated. And these mandated reporters will think it's optional, and they do that everywhere in Florida, especially if you're male, especially if you're disabled. When I tell you how mean the police are, if we have to go in by ourselves, we are the most likely people to be killed by police. Men at 96%, the disabled account for 51%, and the homeless account for 60% last year. That's insane. Also, we found out
41 cents extra.
a lot of the statistics come from just one agency or another, either from police departments or from sheriff's departments. So they're able to keep the numbers down by doing that. Independent fact checkers have to go newspaper by newspaper by newspaper.
Yeah, right there. Under it.
Oh. Right in front of me, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Miss Cuba.
I was repeatedly sent to
I didn't want anything added.
law enforcement officers who committed felonies because I was by myself. That's why they got away with all that, Gilbert, and I tried explaining that to you. I tried explaining that to Peaches because
You guys can't sweat your private stuff.
he didn't understand what I was going through, how much harm, and then people tell me it's my fault. It's never the fault of a disabled person, and people take advantage of it. It's not their fault. It's not their fault they were targeted. It's not their fault that they were in a desperate situation, and it's never okay to blame the victim, which is what most people do. They go, you should have done this, you should have done that, or you shouldn't have been there, or are you sure you didn't ask for it a little bit? Sorry, I wasn't trying to be rude. Trying to multitask.
Hey.
One of the things that, all right, cool. Thank you, man. One of the things that's most unpleasant is kind of being stuck going from place to place to place to place, where people treat you like you're a hobo junkie and out here snorting crack and dealing coke and smoking them blues and all sorts of crap like that. Like, no, that ain't my thing. I'm not homeless because I'm some freaky druggie. I'm homeless because I'm easy to take advantage of. Not because I'm stupid, but because I'm desperate. That is also an at-risk situation. There's a lot of old folks, when they're getting ready to lose their house, they want to believe that, you know, if they come up with that $5,000, that guy on the other end is going to be able to save their house and even get them $6,000 a month to live on. Once they sent that money, it's gone. I'm pretty good about spotting scams, but as far as trying to get help through a severe amount of stress, severe amount of assaults, severe amount of, you name it, I had to endure it. Sexually assaulted in Lincoln Prison, repeatedly assaulted there by the guards. They were using child molesters to try to antagonize me, and I tell you what, they wouldn't take anything I said seriously. Why would they? Meanwhile, you know what, Gilbert, I was in prison because my predators worked together. 4 of my predators. a former officer who I was trying to take to court, and he knew it because I had to post it live to prove that I was making that effort. I had to state loud and clear what my efforts were, what it is that my goal was. He was involved in Natalie Bollinger's case. William Barr, former Denver police officer turned investigator at the Denver something station. I was treated like I made him up. He was just a delusion. You were just a delusion. Your sister was just a delusion. And even with it, loud and clear, out in public, none of you ever helped me turn it in. Out of the thousands and thousands of people who claimed that they would help, none of them ever helped to turn it in. When I finally had a safe place, your sister severely fucked me over repeatedly. She wanted to keep your name out of it. No, that's not it. I tried keeping all y'all's names safe in the hopes that you were going to actually help me to turn it in. You never did. I followed all of the instructions for trying to get help. That, of course, depends on if that person cares. I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy, I'm too busy. Just doesn't work. That flip phone, if I'd have been able to get that flip phone the first time that we went, if Kenneth Wilson and Leah Plunkett hadn't blocked it off with a wall and blocked all of my stuff in there, you know, I mean, this is stuff that should have never happened. Once I had that phone, I still needed help turning it in, and your sister was making all sorts of excuses. Well, I've got nothing to live on. You have no idea how horrible the police were to me, and still are. You're not allowed to exist as a homeless person. Do you have any idea where all of my disability money went? It went to paying people like your sister for help that never showed up. She never once spoke up. Ever. No matter what, when I tried to tell her about the abuse that I was continuing to endure, I couldn't tell her about the assault. She was too busy typing over me. The thing is, Officer Waylon Lolotide, despite the horrible things that he did, without your help, I wasn't able to get the body cameras because I couldn't even go in without being abused. I was abused because none of you actually helped. You didn't stop to understand how the mentally ill thing works. By law, they're supposed to help me, but they're not going to follow the law unless you fucking assholes care. You don't get to fucking ignore shit like this. You don't get to. It doesn't work like that. That's the thing. I tried to go to your sister and many other people before it got out of hand. I can't process it, dude. If your sister would have sat down with me and helped me to do it, but she never did. Ask her what I was doing there the day that Natalie was shot in the head. Ask her what I was doing there. I was trying to get her to look at that fucking paperwork and look at the fucking evidence. How many times did you guys try that? Did you ever speak up? Did you even try? How many times did I have to beg your sister to stop being a piece of shit? If we don't turn it in right away, I am going to be abused because they're going to pretend it didn't happen, and I have to jump through civil shit that they literally know I can't. Oh yeah, not to mention that not only did I lose all of my stuff at Kenneth Wilson and Leah Plunkett's and couldn't go back there, but I couldn't go back to Miss Peaches because she claimed that it was your mom's house and your mom said no. Really? I need you to speak up about the parts you were there for, dude. The parts that you were there for. You, in specific. What parts were you there for? And that entire year since I left Virginia, what parts were you there for? You don't know who I was before all this, or why I became like this. It's because I had friends like your sister. It didn't matter what she did, she never fucking spoke up about it. And the things that she claimed that she was gonna do, instead of doing those things, she told me to do it or told me to go to somebody else. Hey, you're the fucking witness, Kayla. You're the one that I went to for help. You're the one that said if I showed up with cigarettes, and I did. When the cops said I didn't try to get fucking help, it's that you didn't fucking give a shit and never tried to help turn it in. How hard did I try with Kayla to get help? And then later on, after the fact, I'm like, hey, I went to you for help. I went to everybody for help, including you. What did she say to me? Well, you should have tried harder. You know what happened when I tried harder, Gilbert? What happened? I got snapped at. Even that night, I got snapped at. That's literally what I was there for, to have my story heard, not be talked over like every single other time. For once, I was going to get heard, and she was going to help to understand, or so she claimed. The problem is I can only do so much from inside of my vehicle with none of these resources because your sister stole them. Tabitha Michelle Cook stole them. I recorded their words on it. They didn't think of it as theft. They thought of it as life happens. Life happens. Life happens. Yeah, well, life tends to happen like that a lot to people who are easy to abuse and the rest of you ignore. It's not that I didn't go to anybody for help, it's that none of you cared. It's a respect thing. If your sister come to you and told you that she was being raped, and by the way, I've been raped and this is worse. If your sister came to you and said that she was being raped, how would you help her? See, well, I abhor violence. I've seen too much and it's disgusting. What do people want to do? They want to shove violence as a solution. Tell me that I should get violent. I can't take care of myself, dude. I mean, how well was I able to walk while I was there? Yeah, I needed a fucking cane. I had to walk that far without a cane because I needed my fucking backpack space and I needed to fucking truck it no matter the fucking pain. But none of you stop. When I tell you how much pain I'm in and what my injuries are, and I got to dig through this now to find my evidence. I've been harmed repeatedly here because I don't have a friend or family member who's willing to call these people and explain to them how this results in a lot of harm. How is it that any of you haven't registered in your head how much harm this becomes? Why do I have to spend all of this time on the streets trying to gather this evidence of your words, of the things that you were there for, because none of you tried to come forward ever? Not only not right away, but not ever, not once ever. None of the things that you were there for. You didn't come forward about any of them to the police or to the courts. You literally forced me to break the law to try to get heard because no matter what, it was excuses. I should do this, I should do that. Gilbert, you're smart. Your sister has a USB full of evidence. She's had that USB full of evidence for 6 years. A lot of that evidence was destroyed in other places because people called it spam. I've got evidence of many, many, many fake profiles made in my friends and family's names going way back to before Natalie Bollinger was fucking killed. And I was trying to show you that stuff. I pulled out my computer. This is the one time that I thought somebody was going to look at it in person, and I was showing her that while you're wanting to distract me with the protection order crap. Fuck the protection order. Finding Natalie was important, and showing the evidence of what I was going through was important. Something that your sister had neglected and never spoke up about either. I had to record her and post her on my YouTube. That's why we're not fucking friends. I'm being abused by the public because none of you came forward. My predators worked together and you did nothing but tell me what to do. I literally can't defend or protect myself. What kind of a piece of shit does that? Get that evidence from your sister. Make that call with me to Adult Protective Services. Tell them the things that you should have told them the day that Natalie disappeared. So I'm going to send you as much evidence as I can before all of my electronics fucking die. I got fucking phone after phone after phone. You should hear the interesting stories that have been told about those phones versus the reality of what happened. They try to pretend that because I have to get new phone numbers all the time because of abuse and assaults, theft, always being forced to move and life just happening. They're supposed to investigate. These people are supposed to come, Adult Protective Services. All of these agencies that I went to before Natalie died to try to turn this in. You get to see they do the same thing everywhere. Oh, you're being harmed as an adult male on the streets? Here's therapy. Here's therapy. Oh, it's free. Really, it's free. No, it's not. It costs me to get there. And the American taxpayers are paying those people not to do their jobs. I'm being sent to them because they're mandated reporters, not for them to commit Medicare and Medicaid fraud. By the way, I can't possibly send you tens of thousands of screenshots, over 6,000 videos just on YouTube alone. Then there's all of the evidence from right after and right before Natalie was fucking killed. All of that evidence that is fucking permanently gone because none of you fucking cared. You let them do whatever they want and wanted to pretend like I could just ignore it. No, you don't get to ignore it when you're on the fucking streets. When all of your support network out on the streets are intermingling with the junkies that harm you. When you're being sent, you're being immorally told to go to, well, places where you're going to be harmed. Homeless people are assaulting each other and assaulting me in Boulder, Colorado. Then, no, sending me to the Boulder fucking shelter is a dumb idea. Look at the situation. Yes, there were thousands of ideas that people had. Yeah, you never thought I fucking thought of that? But instead of trying to understand the situation, all you wanted to do is pretend that I didn't want help because I couldn't do what you wanted. You pieces of shit, that includes you, Gilbert Arteaga. You speak up about what you were a part of first. You show me some trust. You show me a reason to. You find out why your sister literally didn't do anything except rip me off and lie to me and take advantage of me and waste my time while these predators harm me however they wanted. You ask her why she wanted to pity party me about her kids when people are threatening to kill my friends and family, literally threatening to kill them. Ask her why she let it happen. Ask her how much money I had to pay her to show up after Natalie was killed. How much did I have to pay her? Oh, Sean, I don't have any money, so I can't. I'll pay you. All right, well, then she shows up to court. Yeah, she didn't say anything or fucking stick up for me to my fucking public pretender even. No, she wanted to take the public pretender's side because Peaches still hadn't looked at a goddamn thing. I'd been forced into homelessness. This is the first time that I'd been able to fucking talk to her since that whole situation with Natalie and her kicking me out of the place. because I was accused of a murder I didn't commit. I'd been going to your sister for over a year before that. Why was I going to her for help? Ask her. Ask her why been going to her for help. Ask her what she did instead of listening. Ask her about the situation with A-Bear. Oh, by the way, I've also got all of that recorded in conversations with her. She could tell me, but she couldn't tell you. She couldn't tell the cops. She couldn't tell her friend. She couldn't tell anybody. Why not? If it happened, it happened. See, because you guys didn't try to understand the gravity of the situation. My predators had a bunch of stuff tied up in court with me. It wasn't just Natalie disappearing. It was also a lot of felonies committed, a lot of gaslighting to try to make it look like I was trying to flee the state, and then to try to make it look like I was some sort of a horrible person who is violent. They gaslighted me to all my friends and family. You stop to understand that, yeah, I'm easy to abuse, dude. That's why I went to you for help. That's why I went to your sister for help. That's why there are over 100 people that I went to for help before Natalie died that are recorded or at least screenshots of it. But none of you even tried helping and teach me how to do the screenshots because it was all about telling me what to do and what to think and what to feel because I'm a fucking retard. Call me. Talk to me like I'm a person. Understand it will be recorded and probably live on Facebook for my safety. You admit to the public what you were a part of. You listen to the help that I need, and you help me to do that with me. You help me to get the resources that I need back. Those resources were taken away because of abuse, and that includes neglect by your sister. Instead of her playing victim, she should have told the truth. She's in trouble for procrastinating and taking advantage of me, just like everyone else, just like the police. Taking advantage of the fact that it was just me and I had nobody. When I had to try to trust her alone, she showed I literally couldn't. She should have told you all of this stuff. She should have told you. And you should have looked. See, you didn't know me until Natalie Bollinger and her friends and family had completely destroyed me as a human being, and your sister and A-Bear had smashed me down to nothing for trying to explain it one night. And every night that I'd talked to them since about it. You don't stop to think about how much time I invested out there. I had to sit out there and fly a sign. Now there's too much of it, and I write it down, but I can't possibly write it down anymore. I can't because they keep stealing it, and I mean the police. Or they keep destroying it, and I mean the police. Or these web wingnuts that you wanted me to fucking ignore. They're destroying evidence, you piece of shit. Don't be a piece of shit. Help me turn it in. I don't want to call you a piece of shit, but it's been 6 fucking years. Your sister's mad at me. She can be as mad as she wants. She never tried to help turn it in. So the cops got to claim I never tried to get help. And when I said that, your sister claimed I was slandering her name. Really? Really? No, your sister slandered the fuck out of my name. Did any of these people try working together to help me? Or did they plan out what help I needed and what I should do before you ever fucking talked to me, Gilbert? Tell me I shouldn't care what other people think? No, that's all they cared about. All your sister cared about was her fucking drug supply from Blaine McCrelius, another one of my predators. Did she help me to do anything about any of these predators? No. She told me to let it go like a piece of shit. This is why we're so at risk. I didn't ask to be born with a penis. I didn't ask to be born into poverty. I didn't ask to have disabilities that you guys get to assume whatever the fuck you want instead of asking the person with the disability what it's like. I'm too easy to walk over and talk over, and you know it from experience, Gilbert. You've done it to me. With no regard for what that does to me. That pushes people to suicide, Gilbert. Don't do that. I'm going to send you some more evidence, and I'm going to extend you a piece of trust that I shouldn't. I'm going to give you my phone number, knowing full well that you could give it out and have me harassed by a bunch more restricted numbers. Just keep in mind that I'll have your number as well if you do that. How many times have I given you my number, Gilbert?